Hey, everybody. I hope that this is coming through. It's good to see you. And I just had like the biggest heart attack um, because, of course, like I haven't done this for a while. So sorry about that. But when I went back, um, I like my program was crashing, and then I had to open a previous version of it. And then the previous version wouldn't stream. So here I am. Like I know that everybody has nasty things to say about AI, but thank heavens for ChatGPT because without it, I would be toast right now, and I would not be streaming. So hi, welcome. I am Romi Hill, and I'm the designer behind Designs by Romi. And I'm kind of hoping that I can't see myself yet. So I'm kind of hoping that you can see me. So if you can't see me, let me know. So, oh my goodness, I am having some issues today, but hopefully, everybody is doing as well as possible. And I'm just gonna, hang out. And if you can't see me, like if this is not coming through, um, please let me know because I can't. I have like an iPad sort of monitoring everything, and I can't see myself yet. So I can see myself on the YouTube site, which is definitely a good thing. So, hi. Oh my gosh, I can see your chats, and I'm so excited to see everybody. I've really missed you guys. It's been quite a year. Um, Probably, I mean, I know for a lot of people it's been quite a year. So I, like, full disclosure, I didn't even realize how long it had been until YouTube wrote to me and said, "Oh, you're going to lose your monetization because you haven't been on for a very long time." And I was like, "Oh my God, it's been so long." And so here I am. Anyway, I have so much stuff to talk about because it's been forever. I see, I will definitely show you the manicure. It's a really boring one this time. So it's just a boring blah color. Um, So let me get back over here, and I'm just going to like get everything all set up. So totally boring blah color here, not very interesting at all, and no wild hearts or who knows what. It's just your regular everyday kind of nail polishy looking thing. So I just got back from New York. I was teaching at Vogue Knitting Live, and honestly, I have just missed you all so much. I sort of like have been hiding in my little hidey hole cave, and and it was just really nice to get out and say hello. And so when I came back, I was like, okay, I have to do a live and say hi to everybody. So that is why I'm here. I'm just gonna adjust everything so I can actually see my the chat and everything, which is of course on a different screen because you know how it goes. Well, maybe you don't. So I'm streaming with open broadcast software, and it's really cool. Like really, I love the program, but it's like this mix of kind of different terms that you have to learn and figure out. And like it's been a while, so I'm sort of trying to remember what the terms mean. Anyway, and I see Sue is mentioning lesson face. So lesson face is this really cool. lesson platform, basically. It's mostly for music. And the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival had their Winterfest on Lesson Face. So I got to be an approved teacher on there. So it's a really, I guess you go through a process to make sure that that you're approved to teach on there. So I got the quick approval, and so then afterwards, I was talking to them a little bit about possibly having some other classes on Lesson Face, and that's a possibility. So I was thinking about maybe lace surgery on there, but I don't know how many people like if you'd be interested in that. So let me see like how everybody's doing over here. Like for some reason, I'm not getting a live chat feed over on my iPad. I have no idea why. It's one of those things, it's been a while, and in iterations of the software, like everything's different. So let's see who's here. Oh, it's so nice to see you all. Um, for thank you for the compliment on my new look. Um, so full disclosure again, I lost so much hair last year from stress that I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to cut the rest of it off. And so I did. And while I was at it, I decided to stop trying to straighten it because anytime there's any type of humidity or anything, it just, frizzes up anyway. So yeah, this is like the real me. This is the real hair, although it is a little bit kind of purplish and blue right now. So that's not really my true color, obviously. Anyway, so I'm just going to go and talk about like all the patterns that have come out, and all the things that have happened in the past year. So you can see behind me over here, I have my mystery shawl. And some of you may have also gotten the Mystery Path, which is an ebook that I created for mostly for people who were feeling uncomfortable about doing a whole lace shawl like this. Like it can seem a little bit overwhelming. So this was sort of like chopped up into smaller pieces. And it started out with this yellow shawl over here behind me. That's a splash of sunlight. And a splash of sunlight used some of the just like this little edge part of my mystery shawl, plus just a solid top. And it just took two skeins, so one skein each of Le Petit lamb's wool and silk mohair. And I thought it was like this really relaxing and comforting knit kind of. I was really needing some um, knitting therapy. So that's what that was for. And then the next one was this one. So this one is I Left My Heart. And up in the top part up here, the little double yarn overs up here, they look like hearts. So, and these were all sort of based on the San Francisco area. And I spent some time, I spent like a couple of months there this past year with my father's widow, and sort of like hung out. And so my mystery shawl here is called Funston. So that's because it was the 13th mystery shawl. And Funston Avenue in San Francisco is 13th Avenue. So because it's the number 13, they call it Funston instead. So everything else is just sort of goes along with that. So this is I Left My Heart, of course, kind of referring to I left my heart in San Francisco. And and then this last one over here, this one is the Avenues, and it has a little bit of a different pattern up top. So I'll show you this up close when I show you my hands and my manicure. Um, this one has a little bit of a different pattern up top, and then it has this other motif from my mystery shawl. So those were the three shawls, and then I am working on the like the little bonus pattern in the ebook. It's like a just a tiny little pattern. So it's just a very simple mohair scarf here, and you can actually make it wider, or you can, you know, you can make it longer or shorter or whatever. And it's named Frizzle. So, and that has a little story. So, back forever ago, when I was living in San Francisco, there was a columnist in the local paper named Herb Kane, and he was sort of the heart and soul of the city. And so he said that the weather wasn't really just fog and it wasn't really just drizzle. So he coined it frizzle. And so that is what that's from. It's the frizzle scarf. And it just takes one skein of this pretty mohair. It's kind of a soft silvery gray from hedgehog fibers. So, and that will be out fairly soon. So that is probably like that's the biggest bunch of stuff that I was working on. Um, and I should probably share my hands so you can take a close-up look at this because this pattern is really cool. And I feel like I feel the need to make some type of, I don't know, maybe a sweater or something like that out of it. So this is what it looks like up top. And I really love that beautiful pattern there. I think that's just so pretty. And this is yarn from Kelburn Woolens, and it's called Scout. So it's this really soft and fluffy, wonderful yarn. So I was thinking, you know, it really, it really needs to be a sweater, I think. So that may come up soon. I'm going to see if I can, I need to adjust something here. This is, so when I was fixing all of my streaming stuff, I think I told you like my my newer OBS just quit and wouldn't work at all. So luckily I had an older version of it still on my computer and I had to like reconnect everything. So basically what it does is you take like inputs from a camera. So I have my computer camera, and then I have my camera that I use on my hands, and they weren't connected, so I was like reconnecting them. It was hilarious, and I'm actually like my proudest accomplishment and moment is having enough brain cells to actually have been able to get this connected and be here at 3:30 because I swear I didn't think it was going to happen. Okay, so that was that, and let's just take a look at Frizzle here. So the really cool thing about mohair is that it's got this gorgeous halo. So I'm knitting this up on size 8 needles, and it's just this little one of the little motifs from my mystery shawl. So it's getting to be close to mystery shawl time again, but yeah, and I would love to hear if you guys enjoyed the mystery path, and if you think you would like me to do it again, because I really had a lot of fun doing it, and I feel like there were a bunch of people said that they were happy to have kind of a simpler sort of pattern. So I'm kind of hoping that that's a thing that I can start doing every year. So let's see. Yeah, so Sue says, who knew knitting would evolve to so much tech? I know, right? It's a good thing I'm kind of a geek. So, but obviously, like I am not enough of a geek. I've lost my geek card on this. So, yeah, I don't know. So before all that, I realized when I was kind of going back through all of my stuff that I did that I don't think I ever talked about a simple breath, which was from my last lace club before. So this is it. It's a big cozy stole, and this is my absolute favorite color of scarf to wear. So I had this is my really sad story. I had a Trieste shawl that I had made out of this color, almost exactly this color, and I lost it somewhere where I was traveling. I think I lost it in Ohio. I don't know. And it was the one thing that I used to take with me everywhere and kind of like crush up and just like dump in my bag and take it with me to pull out on the plane or like wherever. And and I missed and missed it, and I could never find another color that was like the one that I had knitted out of because it was from Elan.com. So Elan.com is an online was an online retailer, and they're long gone now. But I could not find the same color. And then I taught in Calgary at Knit City, and Frankie Gray Fibers had that color. So just like that same amazing kind of port wine. Gorgeous color. So I made it, this one is, I made it extra huge and it's got a lot of stockinette on the end. So it's it's fun to do because you have this center part of the lace and then you have the edging here, but then also you just get to sort of relax and work back and forth on the ends. So that's fun. So I think this was my oldest pattern that I never talked about. But now I'm talking about it. So we're just going to go through all of this. Um, so I did these socks. They're called Bright Ridge, and let me show my hands again. And my really boring manicure. See what I meant? It's just it's nothing exciting about it. So these are my Bright Ridge socks, and they're somewhat similar to Grab Your Mary Janes, um, but different. Like they've got more patterning on this whole area, and these were for a sock club from Bombed Yarns in Australia, and I love her. I love her colors here. So I actually had planned to do something a little bit more complicated, but then I got her yarn and it was so pretty. I just wanted to like really showcase how beautiful the yarn was. So these are knit from the toe up. They start with a Turkish cast on, just right across the toe here, and back up on the heel here. So I think these are a fun knit, and we're getting kind of towards springtime again. Like these came out in winter, or I think in, yeah, and I mean in fall and winter in the US. Of course, that's um, reversed in Australia. So it was getting to be spring and summer. So these were for that time of year there. But for us, we're just getting to about the time when we want to start knitting those socks. So, okay, so, ooh, so I see, yay, I'm really happy to see that people enjoyed this. Um, so except for Sue, Sue wants more advanced items. So I'm hoping to do both, really. I'm trying to I like advanced stuff too, and I see people are liking it. So yay, that makes me feel really good. That makes me Yay. I'm so glad that you did because I really want to do that again. So, okay. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad. Um, I'm glad that most of you like it. Um, so Sue, I am going to continue doing more advanced stuff as well, but I feel like a lot of the techniques, like when they're put together, just the look of them being more intricate and advanced sometimes is daunting to people who could actually can do all the pieces. But then, like putting it together, it just looks kind of overwhelming. And so I'm hoping to like bring more people in to knit together with others who are actually who have a lot of lace experience and show everybody that you too can do lace. So so that's awesome to know. So thanks everybody for your feedback. Let's see. Okay, so those patterns, and then let's see. Here, I'm going to dip down below here because I have all this stuff piled all around. Um, I came back out with my Castle Rock hat and mitts. So let me over here. These are these are fun and kind of geeky. So the geeky part being that I actually slipped stitches here. It's a little hard to see because the two colors are fairly close together here, but this is a slip stitch spine there. So you have the fans have two colors across here, but then this is all just the gray. And then it has this um, just this little edging here and buttons because buttons are fun. And this is what the hat looks like up close. And it has buttons too, of course, because buttons are the best. I love my buttons. And this is done with bare naked wools. And it was originally in one of their, I think it was like a capsule collection. But then they stopped doing that. And I hadn't motivated to getting the pattern kind of like set up in my own format. And someone wrote to me and motivated me. So the other fun thing about this is the top. This is a button that it's covered in seed stitch. And it's, I think, one of the most fun things to do. So you can see this up close. So here's the button, and you can just take any old button. I found one in stash somewhere, and I knit up the seed stitch cover and then attached it underneath here. So I mean, almost like a pom-pom. This one is plastic, so I can actually just wash the whole thing and it's no big deal. Like I don't have to take it off. I wouldn't use any wooden buttons there, though I did use wooden buttons down here, and I'm not going to take those off. So they can get wet a little bit, and then I'll dry them out quickly. And so same over here. And this has basically the same patterning here. So the fan here has the stripes, and then going up and down here are all the slip stitches. So it's geeky for those of you who like geeky stuff. Okay, and then I have to show you what I'm working on. If I pick up, I'm just going to throw these on the floor. So I'm working on a sweater, and it's top down. And this is some yarn that I got in Nashville at SSK. So I taught there over last summer, and it's been so therapeutic. This is this really soft, fuzzy alpaca. So alpaca silk, and it's just gray, but then it's got these neon neps in here, and it's like it's been really good therapeutic knitting. So I have to show you this up close. It's from the Lavender Loon, and I didn't have like I was staying at I was staying in San Francisco, and I didn't have like most of my stash with me, so I went shopping in the market, and I was just like, oh my gosh, look at that. I love it so much. So the sweater, super simple. It starts out with this top here is just provisional cast on with waste yarn. I'm going to go back and bind this off with just a simple I-cord bind off. And then it's raglan, and the raglan shaping is these, well, they're really quadruple yarn overs. So, like, super simple, just cozy, and it was like such good therapy. So, so good. Um, and let's see. Yes. So Terry says, yay, a sweater. Yep. 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 I um I was thinking about like what would feel like a really nice hug. So um this is it. Super soft and cozy. And I'm just about to go back and so cross the underarm here. So when I do sweaters, I kind of like to make a little larger portion in the underarm there so it doesn't pull in. And I'm going to go back and pick up my stitches. And this is a backwards loop cast on. So I'll show you guys when I go back and pick up stitches on this. I, in fact, just taught a class on it in New York. So I'm super geeky about it. So beware, it's coming. And let's see, what else am I working on? I am also working on a shawl. So this is sort of a redo of a wrap that I did before called the Mountain Home wrap. And it was done in fingering, and it's pretty big. So I actually have it on me here. So let me go back over here. So it was a fairly large wrap. So you can see like I took 3 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and I just decided I was going to do a smaller one too. I think I'm going to re-release this in my own format because it was in a magazine before. So I'm going to re-release this. And again, this is also Scout from Kelburn Woolens. And I really love this yarn. Like if you have not tried it, it's so it's so squishy and soft. And this is the second color that I'm using with it. So you can kind of see up close how pretty and squishy it is. So so this is sort of in between a woolen and a worsted spun. So if you ever use Brooklyn tweed yarns, that's like a fully woolen spun. And so what they do to prepare it is they don't comb any of the fibers or anything. So all the fibers are every which way, and they spin it really lofty, so it keeps warmth in. And so that also makes it pretty fragile because it's really not meant to be pulled. It's meant to be soft and squishy, and it gains all of its strength from being worked into fabric. But it can be difficult to knit with because, especially if you have like a tighter gauge, that can snap in your hands. So Scout is kind of like the best of both worlds. It's not really like a worsted spun. And like a worsted spun, it can be any weight. There's worsted weight and worsted spun. And worsted spun is when they take all of the fibers and they comb them so that they're all parallel to one another. So that is for stuff like Ganzis or like really hard wearing socks and stuff like that. And it's really dense and bouncy. So Scout is sort of in the middle of them. It's kind of fluffy and but it's definitely not fragile. So it's not like a fully woolen spun, but it's also got that kind of loft that you see in a woolen spun. And you can sort of see it, like if you look up close at a piece of it, you can see kind of the fuzz on there. So, and this is non-superwash, so super light and airy, and also like I can pull on it and it's not coming apart. So if I did that to a fully woolen spun yarn, I would have like already it would have been ripped into several pieces by now. So I think it gives you a very similar sort of result, like that kind of fluffy, warm sort of feeling, but um, much better to knit with, especially if you have a tight gauge. So yeah, highly recommend. And they didn't pay me anything to say this. I just like the yarn. So I'm just going to check to make sure that everybody is over here. Yes, Kelburn is in Philadelphia. And yay, I see that there are other Scout lovers. That makes me happy because I think it's a great yarn. So the next thing on the shawl is to do the mosaic part. All righty. And okay, so I have to show you all the stuff that I got at SSK because I mean everybody likes to see stash, right? So let me go back over here. So this is a really cool yarn. This is a linen blend, so it's a um, linen and silk, and it's from Kim Dye's Yarn, and it's really pretty. Like this. It's a really nice warm weather yarn. It's kind of a larger skein. It's 490 yards. So it's generous and really pretty skein. So I wound it, but I didn't knit with it yet. So, and this is from Republica Unicornia. And there were some like super amazing um, yarns there. So this one, these two are from that one Republica Unicornia, and I thought they're funny and fitting color names. I like they were really creative with them, and super nice saturation on these. I think that's so pretty. I had to stop by Miss Babs. So does everybody know that Miss Babs has retired now? So Miss Babs retired, but what like her head dyer her bought the business. So this was too big to put on my hand camera because it's one of her. I think she calls them Yowza what a skein. Yeah, she still does. Yowza what a skein. So I think if this is 560 yards. So I've been really getting into this sort of like speckled stuff. I thought it was such a pretty color. All the watery colors, totally into the watery colors. And then this is from Apothecary. And it's this beautiful wool and silk yarn. So speckles again. I love speckles. Like I know that they're not the rage right now, but they have a huge place still in my heart. So whenever I see speckles, I have to buy speckles. And then I have another one. This is from Oink. So one of the cool things This is the same base. It's the silk and linen. This one is 460 yards. So I love going to different parts of the US and getting their yarns there because the bases are completely different. So this is like the only place that I've seen that silk and linen, and it has a really nice feel to it. So linen can be a little bit harsh on your hands, but the silk content in this just makes it softer. And again, I was like really into the watercolors here. And I mean, I went all out. I'm just telling you. So I have wanted to meet Old Rested Chair for a long time, and I finally got to meet her, and I got some of her awesome yarn. So she was right next to Republica Unicornia, and I loved her stuff. So this time I went for kind of the yellows. I don't know, it was just everything was super appealing to me. I was deep into petting all of the yarn and sniffing all of the fumes, all the vinegar fumes. And last, because I had to go by Camellia Fiber Company. Um, I think these are so beautiful. These are naturally dyed, and this one is, I've never seen this blend anywhere else. It's alpaca, linen, and silk. So it's 437 yards a piece for these, and the colors are like, they're so gentle and beautiful. I love naturally dyed yarns. So yeah, that was that was kind of my insane yarn buying spree there. So luckily I had enough room in my suitcase because I travel. So I have this very strange diet. It works for me, but it means that I travel with my food. So basically, whenever I go anywhere, um, like as I eat my food, I free up space for yarn. So, which could be good or bad. I don't know. Depends on the way you look at it. It's probably bad for the pocketbook, but good for yarn therapy. Okie doke. So, I think that's about what I have for my projects. But I want to show you. I had a bunch of people asking questions about the starts on my shawls in the mystery path. So the ones that start at the bottom, and then the mystery shawl starts that way as well. But oh, let me pick this up. Um, so like this one, I should do it this way. Like this one starts at the bottom here and then works up. And so people, especially I think um, if you're an English type knitter, it's more difficult to do it. So I'm going to show you the start of that, and I'm just going to do like a little tiny shawl for you because I think that would be fun. So that is if I have, oh, that wasn't all I was going to show you. Wait a minute. Okay. I have to show you something else too. Um, Let me transition over here. Okay. Because I thought this was so cute. When I was in at Vogue, Knit Companion had these stickers that they were giving people, and I thought they were freaking adorable. So this is an illustration that I did for them, and I gave it to Sally, and Sally's been, kind of having fun with it. So she's put it on a bunch of swag, and this is one of the things I thought was adorable. So she has it on like all sorts of different merchandise now. There was a mug, I think. I wanted to get a mug, and so I had to show you that. Okay, and I'm just going to check my chat again. So I know, seriously, someone said, looking forward to your de-stash on some of those. I have been de-stashing a lot. I actually have some de-stash up on my website right now, which reminds me that I also have another a pin up on my website, and I wanted to show you how it's used. So this is a heart penannular, and it looks like it wouldn't stay. So I have to show you how well it does actually stay. So this is how you use it. You just take that little um, tongue part basically, and then you move it around like this. So, so I'll transition over here. So if you can see, like, it doesn't come out. It just kind of stays. It stays where it's put. And I have six nickel ones and two sterling ones up. So this is it's an older design, like from the very first designs that I created in shawl pins. And if you didn't know, I started out doing shawl pins before I designed knitting patterns. So I first started designing knitting patterns to have something to put the shawl pins on. So funnily enough. Okay, so let's see. Oh, so Sue, yeah, for sure. Check your bags from Sally. Okay, I do actually have another thing to show you. And this is like I got these to try. This is not part of my um, deal with them, so it's like they're not sponsoring this live or anything. It's from Knit Pro, and they come in this kind of cool pouch here. This is such a pretty set. So they're like it's a really nice um, carrying case, and they have a different type of cable from what they have used before. Like if you've ever used Knit Pro stuff, which used to be well, they started out with Knit Picks, and then they were Knitter's Pride in the US and Knit Pro in Europe, but now they are just Knit Pro everywhere. So yeah, so I was looking at these and they're really pretty. So I'm gonna try some of these out, like while, and you can see what they look like. So I think I'm gonna use fours, like my favorite fours. So I've talked a little bit about this before, but I can't use Chow Goose, and which kind of bums me out because they have those really great cables, but I can't use them because I have sensory issues with them. They're like really they scrape in this way that I can't like it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Technical term, the heebie-jeebies. So I can't use them. And I really was excited about seeing these because these look kind of similar to the Chow Goose, but they're not scrapey in the same way. And I think the cables seem much nicer and they rotate. So the bottom here of each of these, the cord, it rotates. So I'm kind of excited to see how these work out. So I'm going to start a shawl, like a little tiny, teeny tiny little shawl, and you can see how they work. Okay, so here's what they look like up close. So you can see here they just rotate. So I'm kind of hoping that that will keep them from coming undone at the bottom. And there are, I don't remember, I should remember this, but I don't remember the exact thing that they're called. Um, So that little bottom part of the shawl, I'm going to show you first the way I do it because I learned to crochet before I learned to knit. So I am comfortable holding my yarn in my left hand. So this is what I do. Here's my little tail over to the right side, and then this part goes to the ball over on the left. And I'm gonna tension my yarn in my right hand and my left hand, and then just reach through the loop and knit one, yarn over, knit one, yarn over, and knit one. So that's what I do to start it. But I do recognize that there are lots of English down knitters out there. So this is also, I thought I had put this on my teeny tiny tutorials, but it turned out I had only done it for Instagram. So I made just a slip knot, and I call it my sacrificial slip knot because I'm not really going to use that. I'm just using it to anchor it to my needle. And then I'm going to do one backwards loop cast on and turn this over. And I'll show this in my um, really poor English throwing. So all the stitches are going to be worked into this loop here. So I'm going to go in, knit one, and then bring the yarn forward in between the needles. So when you are knitting English style, basically a yarn over is like just a yarn forward. I can kind of understand why they call it yarn forward instead of yarn over, because it's just bringing the yarn forward in front of your needle. And I'm going to go back in and make another knit stitch, and then bring this yarn back forward. And then one more time, I'm going to make another knit stitch here. So now I have these 5 stitches, and I can take my loop off of my needle. And then I'm also going to take that slip knot off like that. So usually if I'm working with this, I will put a pin in here. Like if I'm going to pick up stitches along the side later, I'll just put a pin in the bottom here so I can find that again. But this time I'm just going to show you what it looks like to do a yarn over at the beginning of the row to shape this. So I'm just going to come up like this and then knit across. So these do scrape a little tiny bit, like for those of you who have issues like I do. But they're like they're not giving me chill bumps. So that's a win for me. So here's my yarn over, and over on the other side, if I wanted to do that like an English style knitter, so embarrassing how bad I am at this. So I'm going to bring my needle up like this. It's kind of like you're making a mistake. And then into the first stitch. And then I'm going to knit across. So I'm going to show you, so in my second one in the avenues, I worked 2 stitches into each of these yarn overs across here. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to go into the front, and then I'm going to purl a stitch as well. So that's 2 stitches. And basically what that's doing is increasing faster. So usually it's just going to be 1 stitch worked into those. And this particular way of doing it, it's going to increase wider. So it's going to be shallower. So I was actually thinking I should just do like a super simple pattern like this, because it kind of It kind of mimics the shaping of the Sophie scarf. Like people are really into those really shallow triangles, but this one is just worked in a kind of a different way. So worked from the point up to the top. And even though in the avenues, um, so you can see like this is really, it's starting to grow really wide. And in the avenues shawl that I did, I went back and I picked up around the whole triangle, but you can also just use the shaping for a little shawl like this. Like you don't have to go back and pick anything up. So once once you finish this, you can see here, you can see right now it's really easy to see those um, loops here. But when you go back, and if you want to, so I'm going to pull this tight here so it makes a better point. You can see how that looks pulled. So when you finish with this, and if you want to block it, I would be casting off or binding off at the top with a reverse stockinette I-cord, just so it will look nice with this garter stitch down here. And once you do that, like once you block it and kind of pull it out and shape it better, then these sort of kind of disappear back into the fabric. It looks a little bit like you just slipped the first stitch of each row. So, yeah, so I was thinking that would be kind of fun. And I accidentally found this really pretty yarn in Deep Stash. So I was using this yarn to teach this class, in fact, at the Winterfest. And I was like, oh, this is so pretty. I really want to do something with this. So I may just do that just for fun, because why not? So hopefully, I know I'm kind of late on all of this because people have done their shawls and stuff, but there are still people out there I know who haven't. And let's see. Oh, and Virginia says she's knitting with chow goose, and sorry, I I hope I didn't mess you up with the scrape. Let's see. Oh, I think it's Nova. Sue asked. I think Nova, but I'm not sure. So I do know like the ones I was just using, definitely less scrapey. So I think I may actually be able to use these, which is really good because yeah. So I was at TNNA long, long ago. Um, it was a show for like industry people. So designers and yarn stores and people, and the organization ceased to exist. But used to be we would go around and try everything. I was trying the chalgos. I picked them up and I like knit a stitch and I had to put them down. And so yes, I'm neurotic. um, but I can't hold them, which kind of bums me out because nice cables. So oh well. Anyway, so I'm also, if any of you are going to be in the Seattle Tacoma area next week, I am teaching at Red Alder. Oh, good. I'm glad, Virginia, that I'm glad it's not bothering you with the scrape. That makes me very happy. I was afraid I planted a seed there. That would have not been good. Um, So I'm teaching at Red Alder next week, and that's in Tacoma. And I never got to go I've never been to it before. Even I forgot the name of the show now that it was before, and I like my brain is iffy these days. It's inundated with too much stuff. So I have never gone to it. I've never stayed at the Hotel Murano. So I get to teach there. I'm teaching 6 classes, and I cannot wait. I'm really excited to go and see it, and I'm really excited that there are shows kind of on in the West that are still doing well. I'm still missing Stitches West so much, especially especially like getting to see everybody when I went to Stitches West every year. So I'm really, really hoping that this, like the sh other shows, will grow bigger and we can all connect again and meet up at shows, which would be so cool. So Red Alder, and then if you are in the San Diego area, at the beginning of March, I'll be down there at the San Diego Knitting Guild. So I'm giving a talk and then teaching. And then during the summer, Unwind fiber event, I'm going to that. Then I'm going to the Jimmy Beans. I'll be teaching at the Jimmy Beans retreat. And I'll be teaching at Yarnover in Minneapolis in September. And that is such a great show. If you have never, like, if you were in the area, it's not a very long show. Like this is the 40th anniversary year, so they're having a little bit more. Like I'm teaching 3 classes, so 2 classes and then an extra class the next day. Usually it's just one day, so it's a little hard to travel to because it's only that really short time. But this one is a little longer, so hopefully some of you in the area will come down to Yarnover and say hello. And then I think that may be it for the year. On the other hand, there's a possible other thing happening, but I can't talk about it yet. So yeah, and I will actually. So I got a couple of requests for teeny tiny tutorials. I'm going to work on those. I'm going to try to just like pull myself out from under the rock I've been hiding under. And so if you have any other suggestions or thoughts or things you'd like to see, let me know. And also, back to that sort of like more complicated lace versus less complicated lace. I structured my 2026 club that way, my lace club. So this has 3 lacy lace patterns and 3 simplifications of it. So it's both lace weight and fingering weight. So you get to choose which of the 2 that you like. And my hope was to bring everybody together to knit lace together when, regardless of how comfortable you feel with it, and maybe, get everybody just happily knitting lace together, regardless, sort of like the fun times we have with my mystery every year. So we'll see how that works, and I'll definitely be back doing lives about that as well. So I'll be talking about those patterns, and there will be another mystery this year, and that is coming up pretty soon. And yeah, just trying to get my feet back under me. Um, and just so grateful for all of you for showing up to say hi. And you have no idea how wonderful it is to see you all in the chat. It is awesome. And next time, maybe I will be able to like figure out how to get everything working properly ahead of time. So let's see. I don't want to miss anybody in the comments. Virginia, I'll try to come to Texas. I will see if I can come to the Dallas Fort Worth thing that they put on every year. I taught there before, and actually I was talking to Knit ATX about possibly going out. Kai Wen, who is one of the owners, I was talking to her at Vogue in New York about coming out and giving classes, and that is in Austin. So I will definitely do my best to visit Texas. And wow, I think I covered everything. Hopefully, or thank you again for being here, and hopefully I did not bore you to tears. But I'll be back. I promise I won't disappear for so long again. And thank you for waiting for me. And take good care, everybody. And I will see you later. Bye bye.